show that I was really pleased with, Only Murders in the Building season 2, which actually just wrapped up today. Dave, give me just your like general overall thoughts about Only Murders in the Building season 2.
Yeah, I think the Hulu comedy is perfectly fun, perfectly pleasant, nice to be with these actors, particularly Steve Martin and Martin Short. Um, I think the plot can be a bit meandering, and there's really a ton of characters on the show, so you kind of have to just roll with your main trio here. But it's perfectly fun, perfectly nice. I don't think it's like the funniest comedy I watch, far from it, but I think Only Murders knows what it is at this point, and by the way season 2 ended with the finale, perhaps is branching out a little bit more, now having a murder happen outside the Arconia's walls.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably like it a little bit more than I did after season 1, where I thought it was a bit unremarkable ultimately. So the talent is probably what keeps you coming back more than anything else.
Yeah, I think for me, what I enjoyed season 2 a lot more than season 1. I think what I really liked about season 2 was even though it had a lot of characters that were struggling, at times felt a bit meandering, like you said. I think the ability to take these characters who at times I just really didn't enjoy being with in season 1. I mean, like we talked about how Martin Short, his performance can be not for everybody, and especially in season 1, he's just totally playing his character to like the ninth and 10th level all the time. And uh you know we I talked about Selena Gomez being someone that I wasn't super impressed with as a actor in season 1. I definitely think her performance in season 2 was a little better, and Steve Martin I actually liked a lot more by the end of season 2. And I think it's because the show allowed them as characters to develop beyond just being the old folks with teamed up with the young folk and trying to like make sense of what a podcast is. Like the jokes that were pretty ham-fisted in the first season felt more put to the side, and you got an opportunity to explore the idea of fatherhood and aging and um relationships and then trauma and how that informs relationships. And I think season 2 was just a lot more layered, and had a lot more depth in terms of theme than season 1, and I really ended up enjoying the ride of season 2 a lot more. Were there any storylines outside of the main murder, who done it, that you really found yourself enjoying?
Well, I think that's kind of the issue with a lot of those other storylines is they really get picked up and dropped
Hmm.
quite quickly. If you think about the beginning of the show, uh, the central murder kind of becomes second in importance to other stuff going on later, right? Even though you get the what's her name, Bonnie, Bugsy, the
Bunny.
Bunny, Jesus, you get the Bunny episode, which I think
That's
is
a good one.
nice. But after that, it's kind of like she's like gone from the show. You know, they introduced that the waiter at that diner, he's gone. The whole stuff with the building manager, the new one coming in, is she a suspect? She's pregnant. Oh, next thing you know, she's just not on the show for the next 4 episodes in a row. It's
Hmm.
the stuff with the hardcore fans. They come in and out. I think that even the other people in the building that are getting fleshed out slowly but surely. I don't think any of those like side plots really have much heft to them because we just kind of move through them, and a lot of them we don't even resolve. So it's really just about how everyone's in the orbit of Charles, Oliver, and Mabel. I think that's kind of the narrative heft is with them, and kind of not really with anyone else. Like even like Cara Delevingne, she has this whole art thing going on, right? But like that again, it's like it's barely in. There's not a lot of momentum with those other side plots, I guess. And then even there's stuff from season 1, like Mabel's friend slash boyfriend, who's like
Hmm.
I think gets 2 lines of acknowledgement on this season and is not on the show at all. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's sure, for me. I think like plot wise, it's definitely up and down. But you know, I think I actually I did enjoy like when Tina Fey came in more more consistently towards the end when she becomes a suspect and the
Hmm.
all is not okay in Oklahoma. uh, stuff comes up. Even Michael Rappaport, I thought was pretty effective as the cop with some questionable motives. But
Yeah,
yeah, like I said, the thing, the three characters, our trio is like the crux of the show, and without them, I don't think this really works at all.
yeah, no, definitely, um, definitely doesn't work without those three. I agree. I usually don't like Rappaport. I actually didn't mind his episode, the one where they're, I think it's like second to last episode where they're following him around, um, and kind of getting more of a background there. But yeah, I mean, you're completely right. Like Amy Schumer is like a fairly big part of the beginning of the season, and then gets completely put to the side. But I think all of those characters kind of work as people that are like viewed as suspects until they're ruled out type of thing, which is not like unheard of for whodunits, but definitely means that the show can feel a bit choppier and like there's a lot of like starts and stops. I think for me the storylines that I found myself most interested in, I really liked the episode where Mabel and Teddy got a chance to spend the time together and go to was it Staten Island or was it Coney Island? I can't remember. Um,
Yeah, Coney.
yeah, they go to Coney Island, and I thought that episode was really nice. And then exploring just kind of like the idea of like fathers and sons. Steve Martin as someone that didn't have a child. How he had uh, become a father figure to I forgot what her name was, the young girl in the
Right, I
season.
know, because she goes
Um,
away and you forget.
yeah, she pops in and out as well. Lucy, um, is the character's name. Um, yeah, so I really enjoyed that, and then obviously the paternity stuff with Martin Sheen to Oliver and his son. Kind of what it actually means to be a father and like how you define that. I mean, it's not anything like groundbreaking or new, but that stuff always like works on me. I'm a sucker for that sort of thing. I think.
Yeah, I enjoyed seeing Brazos, the comeback of Brazos. I want my soup.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was so funny. Yeah, that and in the last episode when they're trying to like uh throw Cinda Canning off of her game and they start like moving in slow motion,
Yeah, the slow
that
motion was
really
actually
got
pretty
me.
funny.
That was hilarious. I was like, this is gonna be so stupid, and they really pulled it off. Thought that was great.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you believe that he got stabbed? Because
you know, I was like 50-50 because on the one hand it was so unceremonious, then they cuts back from Hulu commercial and he has just the sheet over him. At that point I'm like, oh, he's not dead. There's no way they would kill him off that unceremoniously. But I
right,
was like, I could see Steve Martin not wanting to like be on this show forever. I mean, he's working, but like not like doing a ton of
right.
stuff.
Yeah. At the other hand, though, I don't think you can make this show without this trio. They're all executive
Hmm.
producers of this show. This is Steve Martin's first show he's been creatively involved in like over 10 years. So I don't think any of them will ever die. The show will just end,
Yeah,
personally. But in the moment, I was like, oh, this is really convincing. Did he get stabbed? That's crazy. Wow.
he's a good actor.
Exactly.
Brazos.
Shout out Brazos. I think it's a better Selena season for sure.
Yes.
I've liked Selena Gomez acting in other stuff, but the Mabel character, I haven't been a huge fan of that characterization. I think it's just the character's personality. She's just a bit quirky for me. Almost kind of reins in the charisma that Selena has shown in other roles. But
Hmm.
I think particularly her stuff with Rappaport, where she's kind of like verbally boxing with him while actually sparring with him in the ring. That kind of brought out a different side, I think. And yeah, I think in general they're kind of finding a rhythm with these characters and with this show. And like Oliver, like I think Martin Short like really knows like what's going on with Oliver at this point. Just these ridiculous lines, these ridiculous mannerisms, because he's just a ridiculous character, and you just kind of have to roll with that, right? Like I think in the
Hmm.
first season they kind of annoyed me with stuff like trying to play sympathy for Oliver's like finances, even though he lives in this like luxurious apartment beyond his means. But like now they just forget about all that shit.
Hmm.
We're just gonna be with these people and watch them somehow be involved in another murder. Cool.
Well, I wonder if you're supposed to also like when it comes to Oliver's finances, like believe the podcast success is
Yeah.
somewhat like buoying him. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, there is that like there are moments where he's like, "Oh yeah, I owe you a lot of money, don't I?" And it's just kind of like mentioned, but they don't like really like sit on it a lot, which I agree was nice. I am looking forward to season three. They set it up with Paul Rudd playing the person who's killed Ben
Yes.
Glenroy. Um, it,
Naturally, we'll have a flashback episode.
100%. I'm actually pretty interested because I think some of the setup, the things said between Paul Rudd and Steve Martin before the show goes on there was all really interesting. So I'm definitely bought in at this point, and it's a show that a few people that I don't get to connect with about shows a lot in my life really enjoyed, like my parents, some coworkers. So it feels like a easy, non-confrontational show that you can really recommend and connect with people around. So I enjoy that about it as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's already the biggest Hulu comedy and one of their biggest shows, period.
Mhm.
There's a lot of Emmy attention for that first season that we'll find out about soon. Um, or was that last Emmys? I forget. Um, but yeah, it
I
sounds
don't
like
remember.
this is a show that everyone's pretty invested with Hulu and our three leads. So I imagine season three probably comes out next year. They seem to be whipping this one up quick because it was a very brief wait from season one to season two.
We'll be talking about it whenever it comes out.